Welcome back, everybody. Silas here, and over the weekend there was an online auction just a few miles from here. I couldn't pass up an auction that close, so I began to bid on some of the stuff. There were a bunch of old trucks and some old tractors and things like that, and I ended up winning all of the trucks and the tractors, well, except for one really nice tractor. Plus I got a few pieces of equipment that were out there back in the trees, a combine header, some iron wheels, a few other things, but I'm gonna have to take equipment out there. So tomorrow I have to load trucks. After I get done loading trucks, I'm gonna drive a loader out there. But Monday when I went out to pay, I went ahead and grabbed all the small stuff I bought, and I bought some pretty cool stuff, so let's check it out. I've already started unloading it. There was this can here, this can of carburetor cleaner, this old gunk tar bug remover. Got a neat looking car on it. I can't tell if that's a Javelin or what that is, but it's neat. And then I got this old Simonez polish, but it looks pretty old. And then there's this mobile grease right here. What the deal on all this stuff was, oh, and this here as well. What the deal on this stuff was is there was a shelf there, and I was the high bidder. I could kind of see this behind some other chemicals, and I got the bid for, I think, $10, $20. I honestly don't remember what it was, but it was dirt cheap because I saw this and I knew this was worth more than my high bid by itself. And I thought there might be some other cool stuff, and sure enough, there were several other cool cans on there. Outboard oil, and these here aren't really high dollar cans, but I mean, for what I spent, I'll make good money. I don't know if this is worth anything or not, but it was neat. It was there. I was there. Well, I actually already took two of the carriers in there, but there's a bunch of pop bottles. There's all these pop bottles here. I have a few of them at my house. I'll show you guys later, the cool ones that I want to keep for myself. There's a 7-Up in there. All of these were there. That Old Colony is kind of neat. A 7-Up and a Dr. Pepper 1 liter. I mean, there was nothing crazy there, but I got the bid for $40. And in that same lot, there was these. Where did I put them at? Here they are. I got a couple Royal Crown carriers. And so these here, with a little bit of cleaning, are gonna be worth pretty good money. And then there was only one Royal Crown bottle. I figured I'd include that with one of these. So I figured that's gonna be a pretty good deal. I normally wouldn't bid on stuff like this on online auctions, but because this was so close and I bought all the vehicles there, I figured why not. There were several old cans there. There was these two right there. I've started cutting faces in them. I think there's one more in the back of my truck still. Yeah, over there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of line everything up on my tailgate. Oh, this was there. I forget where this was at. This was in one of the groups. A nice torch striker. It needs a new tip on it, but I always use those. The problem with these is I leave them on the ground on accident or they fall out of my pocket, and then I run over them and ruin them. So this in here with a new tip will be perfectly usable. I'll just hop in here so I can show you stuff better. This exhaust whistle here I thought was pretty cool. It's missing one of the pieces, but I think it could be repaired. But the tractor, one of the tractors I bought was inside the barn, and this was on it. So we had to pull the tractor out of the barn, and we pulled it pulled out easy. It's got flat tires on it, but it still rolled out pretty easy because that way they can lock the barn up. And this was on there, and I thought, you know, that might disappear, so I better just go ahead and grab that. So I grabbed that off and covered up the exhaust so it wouldn't get water in it. And then there was this box here. I forget what I paid for this box. It wasn't much. It was like $11, but there's a pair of Yankee mirrors in there. There's the other one there. Plus there's a spotlight, some tractor lights, a couple fuel pumps. A lot of that stuff's probably just scrap that's in this box, but I mainly one of those two mirrors right there. And then there was this wooden crate. Is kind of neat. It came with the 5-gallon cans. I think I gave $2 for all of it, but there's just a bunch of scrap iron in here. This is full of nuts and bolts and just odds and things, and I figured somebody might want that. And then there's this mailbox. I'm gonna have to put this back together, but it's made to look like an old Ford tractor. It's got a grill kind of on it here on the front still, but it's got wheels. Those are the rear wheels, I think, or maybe those are the front. I can't remember now, but it has, no, yeah, those are the front. It has two big wheels that would go on the back of it, and I forget, it has a bunch of stuff in there to make it look like a tractor, so I figured that would sell pretty good. And then there was one lot that said contents behind the door, and there was one piece I saw in the pictures that I thought, that's worth buying the whole thing. I paid $40 for the contents behind the door, and back there was 2 jars full of grease zerks. There was this weird contraption. Plug it into a 220 outlet, that way you have dual 110s. I'd never seen nothing like that before. It looks kind of dangerous. It's a good conversation piece. I would never use it though. And then there was this old light fixture with the blue light on it. There was a whole pile of these flat discs right here. I figured those will work for something. Somebody would buy those. And then, oh yeah, there was this. This is not really an antique, but these are always super handy, super handy. These are for cleaning out clogged toilet things. Like if they get bound up, you take this here and you can spin this and this whole thing will spin. And they're just really handy to have. One of those things you don't use very often, but when you need it, you need it. And then there was a bunch of iron, tons of iron. And I was like, I don't feel like carrying all this iron out. And so there was a scrapper there that had bought some stuff. And so he and I did a little bit of trade, and I gave him all the rest of that iron, And he gave me these brand new in the box tractor lights. Those were in one of the groups that he bought. And then also, there was this right here. Excuse my donut bag, I got me a donut this morning. Move my camera out of the way, but check this stuff out. He had this in one of his scrap piles he had bought. I didn't even see it the day of the auction, but that is super, super cool right there. Oh, what's it got on the back of it? Huh. Hutchinson A&G base. I didn't even see that on there at first. That's pretty cool. That's even more cool now than what it was before. Anyway, yeah, we did that trading, and then behind the door, I found this Farm Bureau member sign, which this was a bigger sign that somebody cut down to this size. And then there was this posted no trespassing sign right here, which is pretty cool in and of itself. But then the coolest piece that I saw was this one right here. This is the one that I actually saw in the background behind the door. Kansas Farmer Mail and Breeze Protective Services. Arthur Capper, publisher. I thought that was super cool. That's a fairly high dollar piece. I've seen these things sell for $150 to $200 at the auctions before. I've seen really, really rusty ones sell for $100. So 40 bucks for everything, I thought that was a pretty good deal. When I got there to get the stuff, I couldn't film getting all this stuff. There was a lot of people there and some of them didn't want to be on camera. But this piece here was not where it was in the pictures and I kind of freaked out. But somebody else had seen it and moved it to where nobody else would see it. And so the auctioneer lady knew right where it was at. It was still in my pile of stuff that I had bought, but it was just hidden behind some other stuff. So that was pretty cool. None of this stuff here, this is all, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, none of this was anything I bought at the auction. This is all stuff. They did have some carburetors on the auction, but somebody else bought those. These are ones that somebody brought me the other day. There's some Strombergs down in there. I think there's a set of 3, probably off of a 3-do setup on an old Ford flathead. And so all that stuff is pretty cool. I have a bicycle at home I'll show you that's really cool. I had to pay top dollar for it. Oh, that's right, it's still in the truck. I haven't unloaded this other stuff yet. And there was a bunch of license plates. Bunch of license plates here. Is this the one with the good ones in it? No, these here were just a group of cheap license plates that I bought. Oh, this is behind the door too. Merle Kent, Route 1. Okay, yeah, here's a pretty good one here. Go ahead and take this tape off of here. There's no reason for that to be, well, it would be kind of nice to keep that on there so I don't lose, these don't bounce all over the place going down the road. But this one right here is a 1938 Wyoming sample plate. I really want to show it to you guys. I'll just go ahead and take this off. There we go. That is such a cool license plate. I mean, very hard to find. I found one that's in really nice condition for $275. This one's in pretty nice condition, still has color on it and everything else. But I think I paid $30 for this whole pile here. See if I can get this back together at all. Just even halfway so they don't bounce all over the place. And then there was, this was just another cheap group of license plate. I think I paid 20 bucks for all of them. And I think there's 10 of them there, so $2 a piece. I mean, ones like this in here will bring, 8 to 10 bucks by itself. And then this was one of the more high dollar items of the whole sale. This here I paid big money for. I paid $350 for this stack of license plates, or roughly that thereabout. But here's what was valuable here. Let me shut the camera down and get these out. There we go. There was this in there, this Go West Wyoming anniversary tag topper here. That's probably worth about $100, I'm guessing. But then there was this right here. This is the main thing I wanted, this Fort Hayes. It's got the tiger on it still. It's in pretty good condition with pretty good color. It does have a little bit of damage right there, but I mean, that's unobtainium. That's one of those pieces that I don't know anybody that has one of these. I'm sure somebody out there has one of these already, but I couldn't find any online to compare price. I probably overpaid on this group of license plates at 300 and whatever it was. But like that Wyoming tag, I got it so cheap. And then like those oil cans I got cheap. And I mean, I got most everything really cheap. The vehicles and tractors I had to pay decent on just because there was a scrap guy bidding on those. And so he ran me all the way up to full scrap price. So, but I mean, they're antiques, so I'll be able to part them out and cut them up and make money. But what else did I get really cheap? Oh yeah, the contents behind the door, duh. I mean, I got that for little or nothing. So obviously the signs, like the Fort Hayes, I'm probably gonna keep it. The Wyoming, I'll probably keep it. The Wyoming booster topper piece that I just showed you, I'll probably sell it. All of this stuff I'm going to sell, except for the grease zerks. I'll use those every now and then. One of the pieces of equipment will go out, so it's always good to have extras. I mean, you can go out to the store and buy a pack of 5 of them or whatever for little or nothing, but now I put them on the shelf, I won't have to go buy them. Now watch, I'll never need another one, which is okay. I don't like changing them anyway, so if I never have to change another one, that's all right. It's cheap insurance. But yeah, I'm going to keep a few of the tags I got, and then I'm going to keep all of these signs here. These are all ones that I want to keep in my personal collection. I might go ahead and sell the Farm Bureau. Just neat stuff that you don't really hardly see very often anymore, and whenever you want to buy it, you got to pay a fortune for it. So I guess if somebody wants to pay me more than a fortune for it, I'd let it go, and then I could always replace it, but I really don't want to. And like those Yankee mirrors, that was dirt cheap at $11. I don't think anybody realized what those were. Like I say, I have a few more really cool pop bottles at home I'll show you, and that bicycle, kind of a funny story on the bicycle I'll tell you about whenever we see it. And then tomorrow I'm gonna grab the loader and we'll go out there and start dragging stuff out of the trees. I'm gonna hook up to my big trailer tomorrow as well and take it out there. Well, probably not tomorrow, probably Friday morning I'll start with the big trailer. Tomorrow I just wanna get everything out of the trees, get it lined up, ready to go. And then Friday, like I say, there's 5 vehicles, 2 tractors, a combine header, some iron wheels, and a grain auger. And I think that's it. So I think I can get it all pretty easy, probably looking at maybe 5 trips, and it's only a 10-minute drive. So it won't take me long. I should be able to get it done in well under a day. So I'm not sure whether we'll do the bicycle first or whether we'll go out there and do that first, but whichever I get around to filming first, we'll see you there. All right, I'm back out here now. Got done loading trucks all day. Shipped out 3 loads in the mud. It is a muddy, muddy mess. I don't know what's gonna be waiting on me out there. It might be pretty bad out there, but I have to get it done no matter what. Most of the stuff is up front anyway, so there's only a couple things way out back that might be a little bit more of a challenge, but I really don't think it'll be an issue. So I'm gonna hit the road and get out there and see what's waiting on me. There we go, we made it. Right here's 3 of the trucks, another truck's over here, and another one's out back in the trees. A few pieces of equipment. We'll come back and check it all out here in a second, but right now my dad's over here loading this tractor. So I'm gonna get over there, help him getting that loaded, go back, get my truck, and then come back. I'll probably grab my trailer too. I'll just go ahead and grab it and bring it on out here, and let's go ahead and get started. I think I can probably knock out a couple loads today. That way tomorrow I won't have hardly anything to do. Now, he's already got it loaded. He got here before I did though, so cool. We'll get it back to the yard. I'll show it to you later. Man, I can't believe that. I should have had the camera going for that. I stopped exactly perfect for the trailer to drop on the ball. I'm slowly but surely getting better at doing that. All these walnuts on my trailer everywhere. I'm gonna be shedding walnuts all down the road. I'm gonna have to sweep those off. All right, we are back. This truck here, I'm gonna have to clean the back of it out. It's clear full of wire and tree brush. The tree brush has grown into the wire and they just dumped it all in the back of the truck. And I told them, is there any way I can dump that on the ground? They said, no problem. They told me where to put it. But this is a 1959 Viking, I believe. It's got a 261 under the hood. I believe this one had a title even. Pretty good looking truck. I mean, it does have some rust. I've seen a lot worse though, so I believe this is a fixable truck here. If nothing else, I'll probably sell the cab and cut the nose off, but I'll probably keep this one all together since it has a title for now. And then here's another 59. This one does not have a title, but it's got good looking color to it. Got a good looking nose. Got a 50, is that a 55 Chevy airplane? Forget what engine is in this one. Another 261, and there's a great big rat back there on the back of the engine. I just disturbed him and he took off. Good, get out of there. I don't want to take you home. This is your home here, you stay here. Hopefully these engines turn. I guess we'll find out. This cab, a little bit more rough. You can see where they cleaned it out and take pictures. Yeah, this one's pretty rough. Probably just pull some parts off the inside of this one. Maybe cut the back, well, even the back of the cab on this one's pretty rough. So probably just cut the nose, pull the engine, strip some parts off the dash. This door's really not bad. I might go ahead and just save the doors off of it. It's got some mirror holes in it, but it's not rotted out. And then next up, we got this Ford here. Well, I just noticed that. Oh, it's got the National Guard deal like that license plate had. They must have worked at the National Guard or something. This truck's pretty beat up, pretty rough, but it's got a lot of good parts on it. Custom cab. A lot of good dash parts in it. And it has a title. I don't know if it's worth anything on this one, but it does have a title. You can see here where they use it to spool wire for the fences. It's got the deal attached to the wheel down here. Check that out. That way as they drive, it turns and it takes the wire off of this and puts it on there. So everything in the back of it came with it. Bunch of barbed wire, fence wire. I don't know if any of that's worth anything or not. I may try to find a home for it. I've seen big rolls of barbed wire like this sell for big money at the auctions, so we might take all that out to a different auction, try to resell it. But we'll see if this thing has any value. I'm not sure what engine's in it. Yeah, as you can see here, it's pretty messed up. I think I could probably salvage this nose for a cheap wall hanger. But beyond that, probably just a parts truck. If the floors are still good in the cab, might try to save it since it does have a title, but other than that, we'll go ahead and get rid of it. And the other stuff is out back in the trees. We'll check that out in a little bit. Right now, we're just going to get stuff loaded up. I'm going to throw this one on my dad. I'll probably load it backwards since it's got all that junk in the back of it there. Stick this on him, and then I'll probably I'll grab that big red Ford truck that's sitting over in the entrance, put that on me, I guess, and I'll try to find something else to go on there too. I don't want to waste space on the trailer. There's a bunch of scrap out here, like these things here. There's a bunch more out in the trees and that chisel over there. And I was the high bidder for a while for just little and nothing. And at the last minute, another guy jumped in and bid it up. I ran them up to, I figured, about 125 a ton. And then you have to pay a 15% fee on top of that, buyer's premium. So I figure he's going to have close to 140 a ton invested in it. Prices are getting ready to drop. So he's not going to make a whole lot, but he'll make a little bit still. But if I couldn't make decent money on it, I didn't want to mess with it. Yeah, you can see here all this tree brush mingled in with this wire. I think I can just grab most of this out of here. And they said just go shove it back there in the trees. So that's what we will do. There's a bunch of other junk in the back of this too, but it's mostly metal it looks like. So I'll probably just leave that in there. I thought I overpaid for this truck. I think I paid $700 for it, but like I was saying, it's got a title, so I mean the cab, just the VIN number is going to be worth something. But that's going to turn around and back under it, or back up to it, and then I'll set it on them. But I mean, this truck probably weighs, just by feeling it, there's probably every bit of 3.5 tons here. So I mean, I could technically pull the copper radiator out of it and crush it and get my money back. So I'm guaranteed to break even. Obviously, I'm not in the business of breaking even. I'm in the business of making money. So if I could sell that barbed wire, sell some parts off the truck, and maybe cut the nose off, and probably got a 9-inch rear end underneath it. And so, I mean, by the time it's all said and done, I should be able to make a little bit of money on it. Won't make a lot, but I could probably make at least 400 bucks or so, maybe 500. It's gonna be a lot of legwork to make money on this one, but it is doable. I think this is the one vehicle that I got for my maximum bid. If they would have bid one more time, they would have owned this truck. I wouldn't have bid again. There we go. Perfect. That's the one good thing about it being so muddy is my dad couldn't do all the things he was gonna do, so and now he can help me. Okay, let's see what happens here. Hopefully I can just grab all this, peel it right out of there without making too much of a mess. Should come out of there. Problem is they've got a chain wrapped around all of it to hold it in there. I don't know whose idea that was. I'm sure it was a good idea at the time. There we go. Now I think I can get it out of there. Well, maybe that chain's snagging again. Yeah, if that chain wasn't there, this would be easy peasy, but they've got that chain all wrapped up in the wire. I'm sure the point of it was to hold all this stuff in there. And they were probably going to make a trip to the landfill at some point, and obviously that never happened. I don't mind the wire. I can shove that in cars, but I don't want all this tree brush. There we go. That got it. If you're wondering what that squeaky noise is, that's the steering knob on this loader. It squeaks. I need to get some spray and put up in there or something. I don't know. They said just to shove it right back in the trees like this, and that would be good enough for it. So that's what we're doing. They're going to sell the property eventually anyway, and I'm sure when they do, they're going to bulldoze all these trees so they can take them to the landfill then. We got one more tree brush. I think I can just flip out the side, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this truck around and throw it on my truck now. Well, I thought it would flip out the side. Guess it wants to come out this side. There we go. That'll work good. I was a little bit worried about tearing the ground up, but it seems like it's holding up pretty good. And I'm not gonna have to come in here much more. Just one more time for that other truck, and then that'll be it. So I think it'll be fine. Let's see how heavy this truck is. Whew. It's back heavy deluxe. Back heavy deluxe. Man, this truck's heavy. I probably have a low tire too. I forgot about that. This tire has a slow leak in it, and I haven't aired it up now in like 2 months. So that's okay. We're gonna put the heavy side on the other tire now. This is why I brought the big trailer out here. Even if I can only haul one truck on this load, still, I mean, this is way more weight than I would want to haul on my little trailer. I'd do it. I hauled that great big bucket truck in on my trailer, and that was not a fun job. Not fun at all. But it's a whole lot better when you can just do it on a trailer that's actually made for hauling stuff like this. It's mostly iron in the back of this, so I mean, there's a little bit of trash back there, but not much, so I think it'll be all right. I'll probably just cut the bed off of this thing and stick it in the semi-trailer at some point. Put it back here, kind of towards the middle of the trailer. Scoot over just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's good right there. Perfect. We'll get her all chained down, go unload it, come back and get at least one more load. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get this truck out of here now while I'm running the loader. That way when I get back, I can just throw it on real quick. And I think I can grab that combine header and just put it on the back of this truck. I think it'll be my best bet. Try to clean some of this tree brush and concrete off the back of this. There we go. There we go, and I think I can just reach up in here and snag the frame, hopefully. Yeah, like that. Woo. Nope, not like that. It's been here a few days, that's for sure. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, like that. That's what I wanted to do the first time. I think I gave $800 a piece for these, or $805, that's right. Which is a little more than I wanted to give for them, but I mean, there's still money to be made. Those 261s are worth a little bit, the noses, the cab off the other one since it has a title, so I mean, we'll be all right on them. This load here, I didn't realize this header was quite that big, and I didn't want to come back and make a special chip just for it, so I kind of had to rig it up a little bit, but we got her on there. I didn't pay very much for that combine header. I got a good deal on that. I mean, just for scrap, that thing's probably worth at least $300, $350. It's a heavy one, not counting the auger and the other stuff that I can sell for art, so definitely happy with that purchase. There we go. That's the last one for today. I'm just going to take that one home for the night, unload it in the morning, come back out here, and I have 2 more pieces. Well, 3, I forgot. Yeah, I have a bunch of iron wheels out back, another dump truck, and then a grain auger. I'm just going to park this on the back side of the barn for tonight, though. I don't think anybody's going to mess with it. I think somebody's staying in the house anyway, so I think it'll be all right. But just in case, we'll park it out of sight, out of mind. There we go, got it all locked up. This is the barn that the Farmall Super H was in. It pulled right out of there, no problem. I was a little bit worried, but wasn't an issue at all. And good morning, we are back. Drive back here in the trees. This grain auger here is mine. I did not realize it was that big. I thought it was a small one, and they do have a small one over there, but it doesn't sell until the next auction. So I'll probably try to buy it, but I did buy this one. So I'm probably gonna have to take out at least one tree. I don't know, I really don't know if I have a use for this one or not. I have an idea for a small one, but it's way overkill there. I'm gonna have to take out this tree branch though, because that's gonna tear stuff up. That's why I don't have the camera on top of the loader right now, is because I'm gonna have to drive through a bunch of trees for this next job. And I left my clamp that goes on the mirror in the other loader at the other yard, so I'm gonna have to do without that today. That's okay. There we go. Knock that tree limb out. We'll see if we can knock this tree back a little bit. There we go. Making progress. They made a road in here already, but they made it with a small tractor. And so with this big loader, I'm having to make a little bit bigger of a road. And I was gonna go in from the front and drag the truck out that way. Actually, let's just go ahead and go over there and check it out. The truck is right over here. I was gonna knock this thorn tree out of here, then come in here and grab it, but I'm just worried there's not really anything good to hook on the front of this thing, and the axle's buried in the dirt, so I just don't know how well that's gonna work. Gonna have another pretty good size auction. I mean, they got all sorts of stuff around this building, inside this building, everywhere. They sold the combine. I think it went for $500 or $600. It's crazy to think that back in the day, the auctioneers would beg my dad to give $1 for the combines back in the trees. I remember that one time that auctioneer, there was 3 combines, and the auctioneer said, "Please, Mr. Manchie, will you please give $1 each?" And then my dad finally said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $1 for all 3. And the auctioneer says, "Sold." It's just crazy how times changed. Back in those days, though, man, that was a lot of work to get rid of a combine. Now you just load it on a trailer and haul it into the shredder. Of course, that's a big in there. That's probably about, they'll probably triple their money on that at least. If they get it in this week, with prices dropping, maybe not. Yeah, there's a bunch more iron in here that sold, and I bid on all of it, but I didn't bid aggressive. But anyway, I got this 45, I think, International. Has a clear title. It's a 1-ton, and it's really not in too bad a condition. I mean, it looks rough sitting here in the trees, but I was looking it over the other day, and it's not rusty. Up above, the windshield's not rusted out. I mean, it's just got little bits here and there, but overall, it's still a very buildable cab and front clip. So I think I should be able to find a home for this, especially having a title. But I do want to be somewhat careful with it. And then also, I bought these iron wheels. I'm going to keep the one with spikes on it. I figure I'll make a burn ring for myself out of that one just because it's so neat. The tank came with it. I'm just going to scrap that. And then these iron wheels with this basket on them, I just thought that was kind of interesting, the way it has that basket on there. So I thought that was cool. There's another spike wheel there. I'll probably sell one, keep one of those deals. And then here's another. This is one you could put spikes on, but obviously the spikes aren't on this one. I'll sell that one for sure. I'm going to grab these tires out of the back of this truck though, and those are going to stay here with the property. What I got in here? I wonder what that is. That's kind of a neat looking little piece right there. I don't know exactly what it is. I guess we'll find out when we get the tires off of it. Here's the other side of this truck. As you can see, it's been here a long time. It's crazy how these vehicles just get abandoned back in the trees and forgotten for decades and decades and decades. I mean, another 5-10 years, this tree here would have wrapped around this bed, and then it would have been really fun to get it out of here. There's a that's a 4-bottom plow there. Maybe it's 5. That might be a 5-bottom plow. Just messing around, I bid up to like 120 bucks on that, and he paid 130 for it, plus the 15%. I just don't see any way of making any money on that. That's about what it'll bring, not counting the time and fuel and labor. Yeah, I think my best bet is probably, they said I can take trees out. So I think my best bet is actually, I'm just going to come in here, probably, I don't know. This tree here is dead, it looks like, or mostly dead. So actually, I think what I want to do is I'm just going to come in right through here and take out a bunch of trees, and then I can get right to all this stuff. I'll probably haul all this stuff back on my trailer with that auger, and this truck here I can haul it by. So actually, that's what I can do is I can have my dad meet me out here. I can throw this truck on him, and then I can just drive the loader back. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll go ahead and load this up, load the auger up, get this truck out, drive my truck back, unload it, call my dad, and have him come back, give me a ride back out here, and that'll work. I was trying to figure out how to get the loader back, so that'll work out good. Sean, Jason, and Jason are at the yard working. Sean's brother Jason is helping Sean pull some parts, pull a motor and some cabs for me, and then the other Jason is cutting down a bunch of weeds and trees and leaves and stuff like that. So they should be getting a bunch of stuff done. Sean is leaving for Texas next week, and so this is his last opportunity to help me. So I have 3 cabs I have to pull and a motor I have to get pulled. After that, probably not going to be able to do anything major for a little while. I'm going to be gone for a week as well. So today is the day. Next Friday, I got to be out my place. I got to meet a bunch of people, but then right after that, I am hitting the road, which by the time this video comes out, I will have already gone on that trip and I'll be back. That's one reason why I release these videos a little bit late, is that way I can tell you guys kind of more in detail what I'm doing without you guys being like, oh, hey, he's not going to be there. Most people wouldn't take advantage of that, but you just never know. Well, it's a little bit tall. I think it'll be all right. I better measure it real quick. Better make sure. I wonder if we can hook onto that and pull it down a little bit. We're like 14.5 feet up there to the peak. That's a little bit over height, but you know, honestly, it'll probably be okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna risk it. I was measuring at an angle like this, so I hopped in the back of the truck and I measured straight down to the top of the truck, and then from the truck down to the ground, and it's like 13 feet and 9 or 10 inches. Technically, legal limit is 13.6, so I'm only a few inches over. So as long as I watch my bridges, which I think I only have one bridge I have to go under between here and there, and it's like a 16.5 foot bridge, so I got plenty of clearance. What I did was I put the front strap on first, and I kind of brought it down a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit, and then I put a strap on the back to hold it down tight like that. Put a strap over all the wheels, and I think we're good to go. Go back to the yard, and then I'll have my dad come pick me up and get back out here. Oh, that thing in the back of that is a Homart stoker, not a Hobart, but a Homart stoker for the old heating stoves, I believe is what they're for. I've had a General Motors one before, but I've never had a Homart. It's hard to even find anything on Google about it, but it's made by Sears Roebuck, so pretty neat piece, probably out of the 40s or 50s, I'm guessing. I doubt it'll ever be used for that again, but I'm sure somebody can use it for something, so that's a good bonus. Here we go. Here's the bridge. I think we're going to be just fine. If not, got to hit it fast. That way anything that snags just pops right off. Oh, we cleared. Long ways of clearance. All right, got the loader back. Got that last truck in. I put a bunch of vehicles inside the yard, kind of arranged some stuff. Some of them are still sitting outside. We knocked a couple cabs off, knocked an engine out. Next week I got the iron box loaded. Next week I have a bunch of people coming to pick stuff up. And so I'll be able to make a little bit more room, move a few more in. Plus I want to try to chop some up and get rid of some. So load the iron box at least 2 more times before price drops. But I told you I'd show you this bicycle, so I guess we'll do this last but not least for sure. Check this thing out. This is a vintage early 80s mongoose. It's been repainted, but it's still all original. Other than that, it's got the original fork on it still, the original wheels, all that good stuff. Obviously, it's going to need some repair work, a little bit of freshening up. You can buy brand new labels on the internet, so that's what I would do, is just put new labels on it, new grips, new seat, new tires. Polish the wheels up a little bit, but man, this would make a cool bike. I've been pricing it at $500. A lot of people say, oh, $500 for an old bike, that's absolutely crazy, but I don't know what to say. I mean, just these wheels by themselves are probably worth close to that. I mean, the fork, I saw one of these forks sold just like this for $125 by itself. I mean, this bike, if it wasn't a repaint, if it was all original with decent paint or good paint on it still, probably be $1,000. So I feel like $500 is a fair price. I think I paid $180 or $190 or something like that for it. This is the one that had the funny story, is I was the high bidder at like $40 forever. And then the last day of the auction, like the last hour of the auction, somebody else started bidding on it, and they ran it up to like $70 or $80. And so then I would bid $10 extra and I'd be the high bidder, and then they'd wait and they'd bid. And on these online auctions, if you bid within the last 3 minutes, it resets it to a 3-minute timer. And so finally I was like, man, every time I outbid them, they just immediately start bidding until they outbid me. And they'll bid $1 at a time until it gets higher than mine. So I thought, I'm gonna see if I can wear them out. So we were sitting at like $100, $110, something like that. And so I would wait till the last 5 seconds and I would bid $1 more, and it would reset the timer to 3 minutes. And they would still be the high bidder, but it would reset the timer. And so I do that over and over and over again. So this bike was supposed to sell an hour and a half to 2 hours before it actually ended up selling. And when I finally did get the high bid on it, they evidently had something else they had to do, or they just didn't feel like coming back because I'd worn them out. So I had to play the long game. I was just at home editing videos, so just every about 2.5 minutes I would switch over to there and bid on the bike again. Oh, I need to get busy selling stuff though. I did put a bunch of stuff on eBay again the other day, a bunch of car parts, but I need to put some license plates on there. I need to list a bunch of stuff. But it's getting to be that time of year where through October, November, December, I try to release 2 videos a week, sometimes 3, counting the third channel, or the second channel, the third channel. I do have a third channel, my short channel, which if you aren't on there, you can go watch that. I post some rerun content, but just in short form. And then I post all original content on there as well that you will never see on the main channel. I got a lot to do, but I have some more stuff I got to do yet tonight. So I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure, and always be looking for those auctions, because you just never know what you might find out there. We'll see you on the next one.